All right, here we go on October 28th.
Ghouls and ghosts and evil spirits abound as scammers promise great rewards and comes to the truth with the light to spread. It's John Limbacher.
Oh, it's been a while since you threw one of those out for us.
Well, crypto class has been even the instructor says I'm stopping at 11 o'clock sharp. He stopped at 11:05.
All right. Well, hey, we've been talking a lot lately about Kartra, a lot about, the Black Friday thing coming up. How do you get people on your list and all that? And I've been working on Sabine's website, and we needed to set Kartra up. And I asked her, hey, would you mind if we just did it live on the call so everybody could see? And she said, that's great. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to just set this thing up. Her account is just basically from scratch. So you could see how a brand new account can get set up pretty quickly, just, to get some basic stuff done. So I'm going to go ahead. Before I get started, does anybody have any questions you want me to address here real quick before we get into that?
Yeah, John, got the winning lotto numbers?
Oh, I could take a stab at it for you. How many digits you need? Richard, did you have something?
Yeah, I was wondering I'm trying to get my system here to work because I like to record these things as well. And it was not recording the audio. So I'm hoping I've got that working now. I know my microphone's recording, but who knows if it's actually recording the system audio.
I just made it to where it was allowed for you to record on your local drive. So if you want to record it using the Zoom feature, you can do that now.
Oh, well, let's do that then. That will be actually even better because Zoom does a better job of recording itself than I guess it's recording. It says pause/record. So I guess that means I must have the option in there. So
make sure your shared audio is turned on too, because it won't pick up the audience if they share audio.
Yeah.
Well, where is that button?
Let me see. When you hit the little microphone. No, I know it's here because I ran into the same problem before. I ran into it before, but you have to turn on that piece.
I know that's true when you share your screen. You have to also check that checkbox, or like if you're playing a movie on your screen, they won't hear it unless you check the checkbox. But I think screen recording, as long as it's going to record your default audio speaker input, it'll record.
Well,
and I always record these anyway, so they're always up and available for you.
Yeah, so. I just like being able to go back in real time, like 5 minutes after it's over. If there's a part I wanted to learn to re-go over, I can go over it immediately. I don't have to wait. And thank you, Roger. We can always rely on your expertise to pull us out of the woods. I appreciate that a lot.
Hey, quick follow-up question if I can. Sure. When I switch microphones, Zoom always sets my microphone volume slider to max, and I don't always remember to turn it back down. Did I blast just a moment ago?
No, you were fine.
Didn't seem to, yeah.
All right.
Seems so like you're good. Loud. Yeah, from my end it was very, very loud. I had to turn it down.
Sorry about that.
I don't know.
Better loud than not, though, right?
Yeah, true.
Well, we've got kind of a tight group here. There's only 13 of us on right now, which is about a quarter of what you normally have on here. But anyway.
Yeah, well, it might be because of the time change. I just couldn't fit it in at 11 today, so I didn't want to put it off to another day. So
appreciate that. The in pondering the Black Friday stuff that you were talking about, I was looking at what resources I might have available, and it dawned on me that I'm signed up for your reseller account program. I've been signed up for a long time, although I'm really not reselling anything of yours currently. So you've been getting a free ride off me for that. But I was curious, I don't need to have the reseller to be selling SitePop, which is what I'm focused on right now. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
So the reseller is if I want to do ACT, or what are some of the other things that are in there that are
it's basically any of our commercial services, our SEO, our web development, any of that. It's for white labeling of basically anything that I do. Anything I sell, you could sell, from a wholesale level. You would get wholesale pricing.
We had that one gentleman, shall I be polite, that was doing that one website we did for him, or the 2 websites. So it was nice having it. So, okay. Just wanted to double check where we were on that. So site pop is what I'm doing. So that's what I'm interested in. So anyway, thank you. That answers that question.
Well, cool. So also in the whole thing of, not knowing what you have access to, I often fall into the same boat. And I know several of you guys had brought up last week about stuff that should be on my website and it wasn't yet. And I said, hey, I'm going to spend some time this weekend updating my site, right?
Right.
Well, I did. I actually buckled down. Barb was in Texas for the weekend. So I had the weekend off and I couldn't go to the boat because I had to take care of the dog. So I was stuck at home. So needless to say, I didn't have anything better to do. So that doesn't come around very often in my hood. So I got in there and I updated my website and I found some really cool stuff and a bunch of stuff I could not believe that none of you guys yelled at me for what a disaster that site was. It was like none of the links worked. It was a mess. So anyway, I wanted to go in there and just show you one of the things. I updated this. My messaging was weak, so I updated that. I updated a lot of the stuff, but I put in this new section, freebies, monthly freebies. Now, did you guys notice the little eyeballs on the subject line this week for the email that you got from me?
Yes, we did.
Did that get your attention? Did it stand out at all, or?
No, I don't like those emoji things at all. I find them annoying. They're for teenagers.
Well, the idea is to make it look different so you pay attention. And I wanted you guys to pay attention because the time was different this week. So that was the whole point of me giving that a try. And, and anyway, I figured that was something that I made a long time ago as a lead magnet. And then I just totally forgot about it. So I'm gonna mute a couple of people out here because we got some background noise. But anyway, so I forgot about it. And I thought, hey, this would be a great thing. I can use it in an email and then tell you guys why I used it and then give you access to it. So that's here, get instant access. And if you don't know, you just copy any of these and you can paste these into text messages, email subjects, websites, blog posts, social media, cool. and they come through just like that. It's really cool stuff. There's like 150 of them here for you.
So quick question about those, John.
Mm-hmm.
Normally the way emojis work is behind the scenes, it sends a 5-digit code, I think it is. And if you have emojis installed on your system, then they appear. But sometimes if you don't have the advanced emoji pack, then that person on that iPhone that's sending that weird emoji, it doesn't show up on yours, or it shows up weird.
Yours shows up like numbers, doesn't it, Roger?
It just appears as numbers. Your eyeball showed up on my PC, and I don't have any emojis installed on my PC in any way. So correct. How did that work?
It's because these are not the typical emojis.
They're just little graphics.
These are, I'm not exactly sure what the technology is behind it, but you can paste these into like a text document and they'll still show up as what it is. It looks a little different. It might not be like as clean. Like I took a text pad and I just pasted the eyeballs into it. And you could tell they were eyeballs. They didn't look as good as these eyeballs, but it was still eyeballs. Mm-hmm. So it's not emojis. It's not the same technology as that. the other thing, I used to do this in SEO. I would actually put these in the code of my website, so these things would show up in my titles in Google. And anything in a title in Google to stand out gets clicked more. So this is something I did years and years ago, and I just totally forgot about it. So anything you can do to get clicked, Google rewards you for it. So I thought, hey, this is a great giveaway. So put it on the site. This month's freebie. You don't have to opt in.
The eyeballs were cleaner on my subject line than I'm seeing there. They were really good in my subject line.
Yeah. So it's just, it just kind of depends. We've talked about this Elvis shift big idea that I cleaned that up a little bit, but all my stuff here is nice and tidy now. So services, we've got the web services, marketing automation, and I cleaned up the names of stuff too, like marketing automation. That's what people want. They want to automate their marketing. So just cool stuff. I got
John with regard.
I'm giving you a big attaboy, John.
John, with regard to that Elvis shift, I watched that in hoping that I could use it sort of to white label a landing page for ACT and that sort of stuff. And it doesn't white label well at the end. Is there any way that you could redo the end of that so it could actually be used for those of us who want to white label the ACT program and resell it?
Yes. So the video here.
Yeah, the video, it's great right up until the last part there. Then it clearly is yours rather than just you as a presenter, so to speak.
Yeah, if you have video editing software like Camtasia, that's what I would do it in, as Camtasia. I would pull it up. I would go to the end where it pulls up the branding, and I would just put an overlay on there of whatever you want. You can have it fade in, fade out. You can put, if you just want it to go to black, you can put just a black screen over it and just hide it. And then you can have your new fade come in over the top of the black, or, there's a lot of different ways that you could do that with video editing.
Yeah, I've got Camtasia and I thought about doing that, but I don't have the dulcet tones of your wonderful voice. If it shifts there, then it really seems like that's not ideal. But if you're not up for redoing it, I'll go to plan B, which is a video editing software.
Yeah, at the end, basically you could just fade me out too. You can fade the voice out. You can do a cut, and you can cut the audio out as well.
Well, maybe I'll do an intro as our tech guy is going to do the presentation here, and then I can do the outro.
Yeah. Anything at all like that.
Okay, that'll work.
That all works. So,
hey, John, were you able to put the Kartra Kartra Training on your website? We talked about it last when I saw you.
Yep. So under training.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of the things.
Yeah.
So if you go under here, there's the Kartra Training right there.
Awesome.
2-day live event recordings. And then we've also got, this is the same training here, but this is all three of them that I had talked about. It's the ACT overview, the Kartra Training, and the traffic camp. So you got funnel camp, traffic camp, and the overview of ACT all in one bundle.
Okay, great. I'm happy to see that.
So, yep. So that was another one. I got this is a great one here. This has been a really good converter for me. I've been using this on a lot of the telesummits that I've been participating in lately. And that top 50 conversion maximizers, I'm getting a ton of opt-ins, get a ton of leads with that. So, and this is all these summits I've been doing. They're all for the beginning entrepreneur, the people that want to get into business, that want to be speakers, authors, coaches. They're all working on websites. So that has been a really good lead magnet for me. And it goes to a video. I introduce them to ACT, then they upgrade to ACT. So it's a good sales path. And then a few weeks ago, or actually time flies, it's probably been a month or so ago, when I got back from TNC, and I was talking about all the AI automation stuff. Well, that's where I put this little book together, and it's basically, it just gives all the best software that I covered, what to do with it, the costs of it, and my affiliate links. So now that's another thing I'm going to give away, not to sell my own stuff, but to get the affiliate commissions. So there's just like a ton of stuff that you could do. It doesn't matter whether I give this book away just for the lead and to get the affiliate commissions, and now I've got somebody in my database, or whether I give away the conversion maximizers and then I introduce them to the right way to do web development, and you shouldn't do web development before you've got your messaging right, and the selling on the ACT program. Doesn't matter which way I bring them in, I can shuffle through those leads basically forever, keep trying to sell them on something that I've got. So chances are just about anybody that drops into my world, I can do something for, whether they need a web development done, a website project, or whether they need to learn how to convert, or they need SEO, or, you know, any of the stuff that I do is going to work at some point in time for just about any business owner. So it's all about opportunity. The more you have, the more you're going to make. And you can see I've got them like coming out my ears. Some of them I don't even remember about. So you just look at what is available to you.
John, is it all right if we kind of use your free reports and basically model our own reports after those? Is that
sure? Absolutely. Yeah.
We're not going to, no copyright infringement stuff going on.
No, anything I do, you're welcome to use it for your benefit as well. So not a problem.
That's why we love you, John.
I don't work from a scarcity mindset. I'm not afraid of anybody taking anything away from me. It's like, that's not part of my world.
At the risk of going just off topic a little bit, John, are you going to give us any updates on the Helium program, or was the link you sent out all we're going to hear about it?
Actually, everybody that signed up for it, I'm going to do some stuff with you guys. I'm not going to go into that with everybody else because they're not interested, obviously. So that's part of segmentation too. You don't want to stuff everything you've got down everybody's throat.
Yeah, because I have trouble even getting your notifications for these webinars. So I know that you don't send out your email. At least I'm not on any of your lists except for this call, and I don't even get those consistently. So you've got you got your segmentation down real well, John.
I do. I don't send out a bunch of emails. I don't, like, when I send out an email for something, if you sign up for it, then you can expect to hear from me about that. And, you know, I'm not the best at follow up. So sometimes it takes me a while, but I definitely do follow up with stuff.
What's the Helium thing?
Well, we'll get to that in just a second, but I want to finish up on the email thing. If the money is in the list, but you don't send stuff out to your list, how do you use email in a way that you consider is appropriate when everybody says, and even you say, build your list, but if you don't email to your list, why are you building, you know, do you,
no, don't get me wrong. I do email to my list, but I just don't over email my list. And I send to my list when it's appropriate. Like, for instance, I sent out one email and basically it just went to you guys. And I don't even think it was a special email. It was just a piece inside of the normal call details talking about the Helium thing. And a few of you, I actually either text that to, or I might have instant messaged you about that.
Yeah, you texted me and I signed up, and I've already got one person online. So I do want to find out about more.
So
answer Alice's question about it.
Yeah. So I literally only sent that to people I thought would be interested in it. So, and just, you know, an overview, it's a crypto technology where they'll send you a free device to put in your home or your office that you get paid off of. So it's an income generator. It's a really cool deal if you qualify for it. And I just sent it out to people that I thought would be interested in that opportunity. Some of you signed up. The ones that did, I've got you on a list. I'll follow up. I'll show you how to get the most out of it, all that good stuff. So let's get over to our Kartra thing with Sabine. So we're working on her site. One of the first things we want to do is we want to create this button, join the movement. Doesn't really go anywhere currently. So we want to make that a lead magnet inside Kartra and get people to sign up for her join the movement. So inside her Kartra account, and I do want to show you something before I actually get into setting this up. Her Kartra account is clean. There's nothing been done in here. It's like she just bought it. But one of the things that I did for her was I went into custom domains and I actually set up a custom subdomain for her that is called go2.sabinebeckerspeaks.com. So all of her Kartra pages can be hosted on this domain, her domain, with the subdomain of go2. So instead of sabinebecker.kartra.com, it's now Kartra's got nothing to do with it. All of her pages now can be hosted on this subdomain of hers. So that's something you have to do that ahead of time. If you want to do that, you can get with whoever's hosting your site, have them create the subdomain for you. Kartra walks you through how to do it if you haven't done that. So that's already done. It's all ready to go. So what we want to do is we want a form. So we're going to set up a form that goes onto this button. So when they click the button, they fill out a form and it goes into her database. So the key here with a form is you need a thank you page. It requires a thank you page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into pages and I'm going to set up just a blank page that we can use for the thank you. So when you come in here, she doesn't have any pages in here currently. So I'm going to go to add and I'm going to add a page. And I'm going to go to launch the builder. And over here, you can actually pick a template. So I'm going to pick a thank you page and then we can launch. So are there any of these that you particularly like?
Oh, hold on.
I
I know
can tell you, I see a lot of these in my own inbox from people that are using these. Now I know where they're coming from.
Yeah, these are very standard. Some of them have downloads on them.
How about that one with the book?
This one here?
To your right.
This one here?
Yeah, I can't really see it that well, but
okay. We can
seems to
preview
stick
it.
out.
This will do a preview, supposedly. Oh, there it is. So that's in the book. You can put any image you want in there. You can change the download button. You put your logo. So that looks looks pretty good.
I think I could use that with a push logo on it.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and select that one, and then we'll launch the builder. Now we have to name it. So this was, let's see, what was the button? Movement. So how about we just call it movement?
Okay.
John, one thing just as a footnote, I set up some stuff in Kartra, and once you give a page a name, you cannot change it. You can't go back later and rename it. So you better make sure that the name you give it is the one you want. Otherwise, you'll have to stop, go back and rebuild the whole page all over again. If you want to just change, if you want to change.
Wait a minute, couldn't you just clone it and rename it?
No, it keeps that same name. We tried every workaround in the book, and there was no way to rename the page that we were able to discover, put it that way.
I'll show you how to do that. Piece of cake.
You just got to tell them the problem.
Okay, so Kartra starts you up with this tutorial thing. I'm gonna go through it and make sure it never comes back again.
It's there for us remedials, John.
Well, all this stuff is in the training, but if you come back and you try and edit this page, it's going to make you go through this whole pony show again. And it should have a toggle of whether you want it or not. Talk about jamming stuff down your throat. It's like, no, thank you. And all this stuff is still, see, you can don't show again. So I'm going to do that. So in here, let's assume that we change the logo. Now to change the logo, all we have to do is click the edit button, and then we can go over here and we can go to the images. And that's the one that's selected. You can go ahead and you can upload an image. And let me see if I've got, yeah, I don't have your logo on my desktop anymore. So anyway, that's how you get your image in there. Let's say we change, same thing with the book. You can just hit edit and then you just go to the image, you select the image. It's very intuitive. The text, you just click on the text and now you can edit your text. Very intuitive again. If you want to get rid of something, like you can get rid of that, you can just hit delete or you can edit the text. So let's say we edited this, it's the way we want it. I'm going to go ahead and publish it. And when you publish it, this is the page name that it gives it by default. And it's sabinebecker.kartra.com. You don't want that. You want these on your own domain. So we're going to edit that and you'll see now we've got the go to sabinebeckerspeaks.com. I like that a lot better. And then we can actually change the name of this page here. And you can change these names back and forth. I change these all the time. So let's just call this movement TY for thank you. So this is going to be our thank you page for the movement. And this is just the URL. It's not a big deal. It's not something to lose sleep over. And again, like I said, you can always change it if you want. So that page now is published. So now that it's published, we can go and we can return to the dashboard and we can create our form. Always keep in mind, if you don't publish your page or save the progress before you return to the dashboard, you will lose all your work. So I just want to make you guys aware of that. I always hit publish. I don't care if I want the page published or not. I always just publish it. No one's ever going to find it. Like I have people freaking out, go, oh my God, I can't have a published page that's not done. It's not perfect. I'm like, no one is ever going to find that page until you link to it. So don't sweat it. Just publish it. Don't worry about it. And then you can get out. Okay, so there's your page. Later on, if you want to figure out, oh, I forgot the URL, you can come over here to get code or get link. And that will take you back here and you say, oh, that's right. That's the link. And you can copy it. You can go over here and you can paste it in and you can actually see the page. It is literally published. It's live. There it is, just like we looked at. So, and that's on her domain name. So anyway, we don't want that up just yet. So, okay, we'll close that. Now, Richard, you said you can't rename that page. If you go to edit page name, you can rename all you want right there.
It didn't. Maybe I got a bad batch or something, but it wouldn't.
Well, it just did.
Well, see, you have the magic fingers.
So don't worry, you can always fix stuff. See, there it is, movement 2. So we will change it back just for the heck of it to see that it wasn't a fluke. We can do it multiple times.
Go ahead, John, rub it in, rub it in.
Well, I just wanted to fix it.
I'll go get the salt.
All right. So again, I hit publish just to make sure we save changes. And we're out. Okay, so now we're going to go over to forms. And same thing, we're going to add a form. and it's going to do the same thing for us here. We'll call the form movement. We'll keep things easy. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so there is what our form looks like, form fields. Now, if you want to edit this, let's say you want more than just the first name, I always recommend you start off slow. Whenever you're gathering information, start slow. Just ask for their first name and their email. That's really all you need to start communicating. As you go down and you ask for more information later on, it will fill it in for you. So just start off slow. If you want more, you can add, you can just say, okay, I want to add last name. I need their phone number. Maybe I need their phone number with the country code or without the country code. Or if you're going to send them something, you might need their address. But again, start off slow. I do always add this privacy policy just by default. It says privacy policy disclaimer. And I like to add that on. It just puts this little line down here that assures your prospect you're not going to sell their data and all that. Makes people feel warm and fuzzy if they see that. If you want a new field, you can add that down here. Like, let's say there's a field that is a custom field. It's not in the list and you want to make one. You can do that. You can customize this all you want. And then once you're done with the form fields, you save. And now you see there's your fields. Now we can go to the next. And this is literally just paint by numbers right down the line. So we save. Now it wants to know, do we want a single opt-in or a double opt-in? A single opt-in is they sign up and they're in. A double opt-in is it sends them an email confirmation that they have to click to confirm their email address. I don't do that. I'll leave it up to you if you want to do that or not. Kartra has a really easy way to tell if people put a bogus email address in and it won't send to them. So the reason I do a single opt-in is this is something in marketing and in life I've found. If you want to get your way, sometimes you have to be open to be taken advantage of. So, and I know that sounds odd and it doesn't sound right, but I assure you, you will get more if you do that. Because the way I set these up is I have a thank you page. The person's going to get the thank you page, whether they put a valid email address in or not. Yeah, I won't be able to follow up with them in the future. And it's like, oh yeah, they took advantage of you. They got you on that one. Well, not really. All they told me was they don't want to be followed up with. They want the free thing, but they don't want to hear from me again. And I'm okay with that. Because the free thing that I'm going to give them is going to leave them wanting more. So then they're going to decide, they're going to make the decision. It's like giving them a taste test. Then they're going to know, hey, this guy gives value. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to opt in for real. I want to be on his list. So I'm telling you, you will get more if you do it this way. So I do the single opt-in always. Okay, so now success page. Remember we made that page? This is why we made that page, because we have to fill out the form. There's movement. So all this is doing is it says, once the person opts in, this page is going to come up. And this is where I give away the freebie. This is where if they put in a bogus email address, they're still going to get this page. They're still going to get what I promised them. So we save that and we go to the next. And this is the welcome message. I always recommend that you do a welcome message when you do this, so you can put the link in there. Because if for some reason, let's say the thank you page comes up and the phone rings and they didn't download the thing yet, and they get distracted and somebody on the phone says, hey, go to my website real quick and check this out. They're not even thinking, they type it in, boom, now your page is gone. Game over. You lost. They're not going to find that page again. Believe me, it's going to be out of sight, out of mind. So in the email, after they get done with their phone call, they're going to look at their email and they're going to go, oh, there's the link. That's the page I need to go to get the thing I wanted 10 minutes ago. And then they'll have it. So again, I'm like building bridges everywhere so nobody gets left behind. So for this, you hit change and you say, yes, send a welcome email. And then you can set up your email address here. And you probably don't want to use Kartra. So you want to put in a real email address here. So Sabine, do you have a real email you want to use for this?
I sure do, John.
Okay, what is it?
It's special, like the word special. SPECIAL. Feed, F like in Frank, EAT, LLC @gmail. Will they see that real email address?
Yes. Like when they get the email, that's who it will be from.
Okay.
Oh, and that's another thing. They don't allow free email addresses in here. They want to make sure that you're not sending spam and using bogus emails. So let's see here. What I will do for you is I will create an email address at your domain. Since I'm hosting your site, I can do that for you.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
So let's just put that in there. And what do you want your email to be? And I will just forward it back to the Special Feet LLC.
Okay. Well, I would say Sabine at SabineBeckerSpeaks.com.
All right. That sounds like a winner.
Yay.
Perfect. Okay. So it will now come from that email. And then we put a subject line in here. And you can come back and you can change any of this stuff anytime you want. But I'm just going to say thank you for joining the movement, because that's what they click to do, join the movement. Now, with email, this is something that you can all do. You can go to advanced and you can go to design templates, and you can make really cool templates, and you can make your own template. So it's good for all of your emails that go out of Kartra. And you guys have seen mine because you get my emails. They're all formatted the same way. So what I did was I went to the templates. And again, they've got all these different email templates. Now, to me, these are way too busy for an email template. So I was looking through here and looking and going, I don't want any of this. And then I saw this one and I'm like, that's cool. That's a simple template. This is the one that I use. You can use this or not. You can come back in and change it, put your logo in here. I get rid of the images. I don't like images in there. So, and then you probably don't want this guy's signature in here. So we'll get rid of that. We'll update to 2021. Or what's your company name? Is it the Special Feet?
No, it's not. It's Sabine Becker Speaks.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, so we got the copyright notice. I usually don't put social media stuff in my emails. So do you want to leave it in there or take it out?
No, it's too busy.
Yeah, I would just.
Yeah, I don't like it when people do this.
Okay, so just clean and simple. If you want to change the color up here to match your colors, You can do that. You can come in here and there's your color. You can create palettes in here. Really cool. I do recommend creating a palette. That way you've got all of your colors in there and makes it.
John, can you create a mini palette based on, that would be fun to watch, because she has a pretty, you did a great job on her website, but it's a whole different color palette.
Sure.
That would be fun to watch.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to open Photoshop because I don't know any other way to pick colors. So I'm going to cheat. Okay, so I'm going to take, and I'm just going to copy. I'm just going to copy this so I can pluck some of her colors out of here.
Wow, John, you're amazing.
I've been doing this for a little while. Okay, so I'm going to paste that in there. And then we'll blow it up. And then like that's one of your colors right there. So I want to figure out what that color is. And now I know, there it is right there. So I'm going to copy that. And then we'll go back over to Kartra. And I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to put that color in. And since it's a hex color, I have to put the hex in front of it. But there's the color. And then I'm going to go to the palette here. I'm going to create palette. We'll call this the Sabine palette. And now the color that I'm on, all I have to do is click the plus and it's going to add it. So now that color is in your palette. So if I want another color in your palette, like let's say I want this dark brown color. There it is. So I copy that. And all I have to do is paste that in here. Oh, there it is. And that's the dark brown color. And then I'll add that. And then we want the yellow, so the gold. So now you've got your dark brown and your gold color in your palette. And you can add as many colors as you want into the palette. You might find that, you know, you've got other colors in here. Let's see. Oh, I guess I have to close the palette. Now I can go back. So those are kind of your predominant colors, is the dark brown and the gold. But if you wanted like a darker color or a color out of one of the buttons, like let's say you wanted that color, same thing. I can go to the color picker and I can pick that mid brown color. And that's somehow I'm thinking that didn't do it. I think I missed the copy button there. Oh, that was not good. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to add that one. So now you've got your 3 basic colors out of your palette from your website. And that one doesn't look bad either. Actually, I think I kind of like that one better. That's going to show your logo up better too. So then we want to go down here. We want to make the footer match. So again, I just go to the palette, pick the color. Super simple. And now I don't want to say dear user. So I'm going to go back to the dynamic variables and I want to automatically plug in their first name. So I'm going to just paste that in there. And then we don't need the ipsum lorem in here. You can put your signature in here, whatever you normally say at the bottom. And then once you're done here, you want to save it as a template. Now it's saved. So later on, you can pull this template in and you're ready to go. So it'll save you a ton of work in the future. So like later on, if you come into the design templates, you go to my templates and there's your template right there. So you can pull it in, update it, save it again. It'll give you a second version, and then you can come back and you kill the first one off so you don't make the mistake of using the wrong one. But that's a really cool trick as far as setting up Kartra and having this, because you're going to use email a lot in Kartra, and to have a nice template that you can just, plug and play. You definitely want to do that. So, all right. So we save that. Now it comes to assigning to lists and tags. So you don't really have a list set up yet, but we want to assign it to a list. So we can go right here and we can create a new list. So we're going to call this list, guess what? Movement. Okay, so now anybody that joins that is going to be put on your movement list and you'll know how they got here. You could also put a tag here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add that, save it. So now if they subscribe, they're on your movement list. If you want to tag them, like let's say you want to tag them based on coming through your website, you could do that as well. So yes to tags, create a new tag. And then I'm going to call this just website. It came from your website. So we'll know if you put this form just on your website, that's where it's going to have come from. Okay.
John, how come you didn't click that when it said website? What, it just said no something and you clicked the none except.
It was just, that was categories. That was for categories.
Oh.
So anyway, I just put that in there. So now we've got website and movement. So when they come on, they'll be on the movement list and they'll have the tag for website. Now sequence, you probably want to subscribe them to a sequence, but I'll come back and I'll talk about that one after we're done. And we can always add that in. And also you can add automations. Like let's say somebody is on a different list and when they sign up on this list, you want to add a special tag to them, or you want to remove them out of a different sequence, or that's probably a little higher level than we're at right now. But there's a lot of automation that you can do with this in the future. Just know that. Right now, we're just putting this thing together and getting you something up. So now we want to do this and we want to embed this on your website. We don't want to use this on a Kartra form. We want to actually embed this on your website. So we're going to launch the builder now. And this is where we're going to actually build the form, what it's going to look like on your website. And here's this wonderful thing they're going to force us through again. I would like to never see that again if I could help it. Okay, so form type. This is like different types, and I like this one the best because of conversion. And what this does, this pops up, it puts a button on the site, you click the button and the form pops up. It does not actually add the form to your website. Like you saw, Sabine has just a button on her website, and then we want to click the button and have the form pop up. So I'm going to use this one. And notice it added a button up here. So we're going to edit the button. And guess what? We're going to use the palette and we're going to make our color. So we want, let's see, the button color to be that. We want the text color to be the yellow. We want bold. I like bold buttons. And then we're going to say, join the movement now.
Can you join the push movement?
Sure.
PUSH, the acronym.
Sure, we can do that. You want the periods in or just push?
Yeah. The periods.
Okay, join the push movement now. We'll emphasize it. All right, we're good to go. Now we got our button designed. Okay, let's see. So we're gonna get out of that. Now we're gonna design this one. So again, we want our colors in there. And I always like these to be actions, like sign me up. Yeah, click it. So they're joining now, sign me up. Okay, and really that's about all there is with this. It's just going to pop this button up and away we go. Or if you want this to be in a template, there's a whole bunch of different templates here that you could use. I kind of like this one here. I use this one a lot. You'll see this a lot on my sites, because instead of just the text, you can actually put a description in here of what they're signing up for. I don't know if you want to do that or if you just want the basic click here, sign up, name, email, sign me up.
Well, for right now, just basic.
Okay, yeah, you can always come in and change anything
Exactly.
you want,
Yeah.
anytime. Okay, so basically we are done. So we can go over here. We want to save and exit. And we want to save our configuration. And next it's going to give us the code to put onto your website. Now, this is where you're going to think you're Merlin, a magical goddess when you do this the first time. But this is with Beaver Builder. So when we click Beaver Builder, okay, so now with Beaver Builder, your WordPress website becomes editable. So that button there, we're going to go over here and we're going to add an HTML box in here. And we're going to paste that code in there that creates the button. And this is a problem on WordPress that has just started happening this week. And I'm going to show you how to fix it. So first, let's see. Okay, well, let's just fix this first. So they have all this gobbledygook, but the solution is to add this line of code into your WordPress wp-config.php file. And you're probably going, what in the hell is he talking about? And this is something, I'm just going to do it so you can see it's not really that difficult. And this is something that only has to be done once. You can probably ask your webmaster to do this for you. But in the file manager, this is where you can edit files on your website. So remember it said wp-config.php. That's what it's talking about. wp-config.php. That's the file we're looking for. So that is right here. And let's see, I believe there is an edit button here for this thing somewhere. Maybe we right click. Yeah, okay. So we're going to right click and we're going to open that file. We want to just open this with Notepad. Okay. Now, this is actually the code of your WordPress website here. So you want to be very careful with this. So here's all the define lines. And you'll notice that thing that we're going to paste in is a define. So we're just going to go to the last one. We're going to put in a new line. Oh, why is it not letting me put a new line in here? That's interesting. Open. Oh, okay. I just opened it, so it's not going to allow me to edit it. I have to go to the edit code editor. I have to excuse me. I don't do this every day. So this is, I usually have my design team does this kind of stuff. So there's where we want to go. So we put in an additional line and we just paste that extra define line in there. That should fix it. So it really wasn't that difficult. Might look a little scary. So we're going to save and close. And then we're going to go back to the website. Hopefully now we've fixed this. I'm going to get out of here. We didn't really make any changes, so I'm just going to get out. I'm going to refresh this page. And then we're going to come back and try it again. So I have to go back here and copy the code again. So let's try it again. We'll hope for the best here. All right, we didn't get our error, so I think we're good. You know, sometimes what you'll notice with Beaver Builder, sometimes it doesn't, your change doesn't show up right away until you publish it and then hit refresh. And there's our button. So I don't really want it over there on the left. So I'm going to go back in. And I'm going to change it. We don't need this button anymore, so we can get rid of that one. And then this one, I'm going to just add a center line. And then it automatically puts in the end center, so I'm going to cut that out. Put that on the end where it belongs. And then I'm going to save it. Now, well, all that did was it just centered it for me. So let's hit done and publish this. We'll refresh the page. And I hope you guys, I hope I don't like have your eyes rolling back in your head right now. Done. Okay, refresh. Okay, so what should happen now when we click that, it should pop up the button. And there it is. So I'm going to put my name, my email address in here. I'm going to agree and sign me up. Now it should take us to the thank you page. So you have a fully functioning, you have to do a little editing, but you have a fully functioning sign up now through Kartra. And I'm not sure how long that took, probably about a half hour, because I know we talked about other stuff for probably a half hour before we got into this. But that's it. Now, if we go back to communication.
John, let me ask you something. So this is live now, right? The
Yes,
button.
that's
So
correct.
it shows Kartra.
What?
So
What did it
when
do?
somebody goes on my website and clicks the join the movement, push movement button, it shows that Kartra.
Yes.
You can change that real quick though, right now.
Yes, that is
Can
correct.
you just take that Kartra out? Just
Sure, absolutely. But I'll do that in just a second. But I want to show you on leads, you have me in there as a lead now. It shows what list I'm on. I'm on
Okay,
the movement
got
list,
it.
and I've got the tag from your website.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
If you go to lists, you'll see the movement list. You have one active lead. If you go to tags, you'll see you've got the website tag and you've got one user. If you want to see the user, you can just click there and it'll show this funky guy that signed up.
Uh-huh.
How much did this program cost per month, this Kartra program?
Kartra, the baseline, which is all anyone needs, is $99 a month.
Okay, great.
And this thing is awesome. I mean, I run my entire business out of this.
It's amazing. It's
It
amazing.
is really cool. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of components to it. It can look overwhelming if you just jump in it the first time, but after you start doing it,
Yeah.
and you know, some of you're going to do this once and you're probably never going to touch most of the stuff again.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to work, but you will use some of the tabs a lot, like your communication tab. You'll come in here and, you know, you can click on any person in here and you can see their information. You can see their tags. You can see if they're signed up for memberships. You can see what they purchased. You can see the customer value. I talk about customer value a lot. This will keep track of every one of your customers' values, and it'll give you under the analytics, it'll give you your average customer value. So you know how much you can spend to acquire a new customer. So this thing is really, really powerful, and it's just awesome. It's a game changer for most people. This is a real, true commerce platform to run your business from. Okay, so let's go back to pages. And let's edit this page. And we'll get rid of that Kartra. So this will, let me see if I've got something. Let me look at my desktop for a minute. I thought I had, now I must have cleaned I cleaned my desktop off the other day. I had a bunch of your images on there, but I cleaned it off.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just take it out for now.
Right. Okay.
So here you can drop something in there if you want, and then we can go ahead and republish it. So that way it's just going to be gone.
Yeah. Better.
So do you have to recenter it, John?
You can't. The only way you can recenter that now is if you go over here. And this is something that you guys probably will want to know if you really get into like designing your stuff in here. Columns and components. If you do components, all of your components over here are drag and drop. Like let's say you wanted to drag a headline in there. You can pick one of these headlines, or you can just use text. If you want to drop like an image, like let's say you want to put your own image in there. Anywhere where it's green, you can drop it. And then you can come in here. That's just a default image, just as a placeholder. So we could leave that in there. And you can come in here and under the style of your image, you can center the image. You can put it, you know, top, bottom, all that good stuff. You can put a link to it. You know, if you want to link to anything, you can link to a calendar. You can link to an order. You can pop up an order form. You can download a file. You can link to another page. It's very, very cool the way that you can operate in here. Gives you all kinds of options. Okay, so we'll save that. publish. That should center us back up. And it gives you your dummy image. Now, if you wanted the dummy image at the top, the way you would do that is you go into the columns. And now you'll see you've got these columns. You can edit the column. And what you want to do is you want to justify the vertical alignment to the top. And that would move it up. And then if you didn't want it quite that far up, you could move it down like 20 pixels. So this way it's kind of in alignment with your logo. So it really gives you a lot of flexibility to design and play. And you know, all I can say to all of this is just be careful. You can get lost in here. You could do this stuff forever.
John, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to be serving up the 7 secrets, right? So it's going to serve up one day at a time. If I'm like, do I create a separate thank you page for each piece that's going to come up, or how would I? Or is that a sequence?
You wouldn't necessarily need to create a page, although you could. I'm way too lazy for that. I would just send the emails out and give them links to the stuff I wanted them to download in the emails.
Okay, if I want to serve it up one content a day, so over a sequence of 7 days.
Correct. So let's go do that real quick here.
Right.
Okay, so our page. So where you're going to find sequences is over here in the communications tab. And under communications, there's sequences. So you have broadcasts. This is where you can send emails out to anybody in your list. You can send based on tags or lists or whatever criteria. And then you have sequences and automations. So we can create a sequence, and you can see how cool this is. So let's call this movement. And we'll actually create the sequence for your movement. And then you can come back and fill it in later and you'll be good to go.
So then you just tie it back to the page. Is that where it's going?
No, this is actually going to load the sequence builder.
Got it.
So you have to actually build this. It's got another wonderful tutorial for us. There's not
John,
very many things I don't like about Kartra, but this is
John.
What if you just clicked on?
Hold on. Now that you clicked on "Don't Show Again," I don't have those tutorials any longer.
You actually do. They're in the Kartra universe. The difference is you get access to them when you want them instead of having them come up and get in your way every time you try and do something.
Okay.
So I didn't delete them. They're still in your Kartra universe.
Which is where?
I'll show you when we get out of here. I'll show you how to access that.
Okay.
Okay, so starting rules. This is where you tell it, how do I know when to start the sequence? So you have to pick an action that takes place. So what we'll say is opt-in form. So basically, when somebody signs up on the opt-in form, this sequence is going to fire. It's going to start. Okay, so that's our starting rule. Now, the next thing you want to do is you say, okay, what do I want to start? So we want to send an email. And you can say right after the previous step, which we don't need to do because we're already sending a welcome email. So we don't want a second one to go out. So we say, wait a number of days or hours. So we might want to say, wait 1 day. So from whenever they sign up, exactly 24 hours from now, boom, this first email is going to go. So we set that up. Now, if there's any days, like I've had some people that they're religious and they just don't do stuff on either a Saturday or Sunday. So if you don't want the email to go on a Sunday, you just uncheck it. And it will go it'll go either 24 hours from the time it starts, Monday through Saturday, or the following Monday, whatever comes first. So I never do that. there's cases for that, but I have not found a legitimate one yet. Now, there's also allowed time of day. If you want your emails to just show up in their email box during working hours, you can set or between such and such AM and such PM. I don't want to do that either, because if I get somebody that's a night owl and they come in the middle of the night, I don't want to be emailing them in the middle of the day, right? It gives me a clue to this person of what time they're active online. It's like, you know, if you're trying to catch a mouse and your mouse is nocturnal, putting cheese out in the daytime is not going to help you. So it gives you a clue as to when you're going to catch your mouse. Okay, so next is communication. Now, so we're going to name the broadcast. That's pretty easy. And then we're going to do the gateway. And let's see. So we did that. Okay, now we're going to say recipients. Who do we want this to go to? Anyone reaching this step is the most logical thing here. There are other things. This is a good thing to always have in place. If they haven't agreed to this yet, you should make them agree to this so you don't get any spam complaints or get in trouble, you know, from various regulatory places. So anyone reaching this step and anyone that has agreed to the compliance, we're good to go. You can do single email or split test. I generally just do singles. Now here's the cool part. You're going to do an email, right? And I'm just going to label this day 1. And I'm going to go over here and guess what? I'm going to use that cool template that we just made. So all that work now is a click away. So you don't have to do all this. You would just type your email out here and you're good to go. Okay. Now, automation. We're not really adding any automation at this point. So we're just going to go ahead and create this. Now it's inactive. We want to activate it. And then we want to connect it. So now it's going to go from here to there 1 day later. Just like that. Now, I want another one of these and I want to clone it. So now I can move this guy down. I want to connect that. I want to activate it. And I want to edit it. So I can see the delay is going to be, it's going to wait for 1 day from the previous action. And then you could go in here and you could update your email, your content. Everything else is good to go though.
Would you change the day also to day 2?
Yes. Yep. I would change that to day 2. And obviously you change your subject line and you change your email. And that's about it. You can do as many of these as you want. You could have one of these for every day of the year if you had that much patience. And as you can see, it's pretty easy to just clone them.
That was easy. That's pretty cool.
So that's
actually easier than setting up the page of the form, John.
Yeah, that's your sequence. So you can have this go on for as long as you want. Now, an automation, here's a good place to have an automation. Let's say your sequence is trying to sell somebody something and you've got 12 days. You're going to do the 12 days of Christmas to get them to sign up. So they're going to come to your Black Friday special and you're going to give them the 12 days of Christmas. And every one of these 12 days of Christmas, you're trying to get them to sign up for your program. Once they sign up, you stop sending them the 12 days of Christmas, right? Because they've already taken the action that you wanted. So you can have an automation that says stop the sequence if they purchase this product. And then you can also have an automation that if they purchase this product, add them to this free membership site, give them access to this, give them that, do this, put them in this other sequence. So that's where sequences and automations come in. And
Do
you
you put a call to action in each? Let's say, for instance, it's a book. I want them to buy the book. Would I put the call to action in each one of those days that something was delivered?
Yes, absolutely. What I would do is when you come to your call to action, I would give them a different reason than the day before to buy the book. So you want to like stagger out all the different reasons of why somebody would want this book, and each day give them another reason. It's like, hey, you didn't buy the book for that reason. Maybe that didn't matter to you. How about this one?
Great idea.
Could she add an excerpt, John? Like where you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can add a piece to the book. You can add a quote from the book. You can add a testimonial. A good place to put something in is a testimonial. Like if you're going to say, hey, here's a benefit of the book. Sally bought the book last week and here's what she had to say about it. And then boom, you're reinforcing that benefit that you just threw out. And you could do that every day, day after day. And sooner or later, the more time they see it, the more times they see it, the more times that you hammer in, hey, I got to have this thing. Eventually they're going to buy it.
And John, could she do like you do? You know how you do that? If you buy it now, you get it at this price. If you wait till tomorrow, it's going to be blah, 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 and it will be a little more.
Yep, you bet. You can do all kinds of stuff like that. So the way you would do that is you could create a landing page. Let's say when somebody comes into your sequence, you create a landing page. So the first time they view this page, the counter starts. And you say, look, you've got 72 hours before the sale ends. And every day you wait, it's going to cost you more. It's going up 10% per day. And, 72 hours from now or 96 hours from now, it's going to be just the normal price. And that's it. Discounts over. Christmas is gone. Black Friday's over. We're back to normal. And it's amazing. I do this all the time with my webinars. I've got a deal where they get 3 months of free service if they sign up in the first 24 hours. And we get a lot of them that do. But then we send the email out that says, oh, so sorry you missed it. That's closed. But if you buy in the next 24 hours, you're going to get 2 free months of service. You're not going to get the 3 because that's gone. It's off the table, but you can still get 2 months of free service. And we get a boatload of people that sign up for 2 months free. And then at the end of that 24 hours, they get another email. Oh man, you missed the boat again. And if anybody purchased, automation takes them out of the sequence. So they never see that stuff. But if they don't purchase, they'll get these emails until they do. And ultimately it'll say, well, the sale is over. We're really sorry you missed out. But if you still want it, and you should, because here's what it does for you. And you'd be crazy not to get this, even at the regular price. Here's the link if you still want to take advantage. And I cannot believe how many people we wind up selling to at full price with no free months. It's like, really? Yeah, I knew you wanted it the first day. Why didn't you get the better deal? And I think they just want to see if you're integrous, if you're going to hold to your guns. And if you are, and you do, then they trust you more. That's the only thing I could chalk it up to. I can't think of any other logical reason why someone would want to pay more and get less. But I would never have bet with any of you on the outcome of what I've seen from that process. I would have never bet that anyone would have bought at the regular price. I would have never bought that they would have bought at the second price. I would have bet that they would have emailed me and screamed and made me give it to them at the rate from the day before. But they don't. They just go ahead and buy it. That's crazy. So I'm going to hit done and exit here. So now you've got your sequence in there. You can come in, you can clone, you can add more to it. You can do anything you want to do with that. And then in the forms, oh, I told you I was going to show you where to find the videos. It's right here under Kartra Training portal. That's they call it Kartra. And since I'm a big seller, I have an actual Kartra here. They gave me a Kartra. So that's the Kartra training.
That's awesome.
I want one of them. How do I get one of them?
Right?
You got to be special to get a Kartra. So anyway, and now like back to the forms. If we were going to edit this form, we could also go in here. Let's say we created that sequence and we didn't tell it to start, or we create another form and we want to start the same sequence. So all we have to do, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I want to go next, 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 and then here, sequences. I could come in here and say, yes, automatically subscribe them to the movement sequence. And then select the step.
That's slick. That's really cool.
And, you know, I want to start them on step 1, which is 24 hours after the first thing.
So you don't reference it back to day 1 of that sequence. It would be step 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Step 1 is send the email for the movement.
When you hit step 1, John, and send the email, does that send the email right away, or does it go with the sequence where it says wait 24 hours?
It starts with the first one where it's waiting 24 hours. The first step is a 24-hour hold. So I'm pretty sure that's the way we set it up.
Okay, that's what I thought. Let me make sure.
Yeah. But we wouldn't really need to do this here because we created the sequence over there. So there's no reason to have it in both spots. But if you created another form and you wanted to add that same sequence and that same sequence applied, then that's basically how you would do it. So pretty cool stuff, huh? And that's awesome. kind of the basics of how to get started with a basic opt-in form, a lead magnet. You can put up pages. You can put this on your regular website. I mean, I've kind of walked you through the full variation of options there. Now, you could have created a landing page. We used her homepage. We just added a button to her homepage. And that's how you integrate Kartra with your WordPress website. You just paste that piece of code in, the button shows up, and now Kartra is integrated fully with her website. So if you didn't want to do that, you wanted to just have a landing page, you'd just come over here to pages, add a new page, and you can say, you know, give me a squeeze page. And there's templates for people to opt in. Yeah, you can have a product picture, a form, you know, any number of ways. It's like virtually limitless what you could do with this. And I tell people all the time, I help people set these things up a lot. And I tell them, I go, you know, if you just tell me what you want, I can probably do it about as fast as you're telling me what you want. If you've got all of your assets, if I've got all of your assets on my desktop, your images and, you know, your text and your stuff for your emails, I can literally just about as fast as you can tell me what you want, I could set these campaigns up. So not that I would want to do that, but.
I don't know. It's out there now, John. I'm coming.
John, I set one up for a client, John, and I didn't mind doing it because to me, I don't know it as well as you do, but like I figured it out and I didn't mind doing it. By the time I explained it to her, I could have done it myself. I get it.
Yeah. And you know what you'll find too, is if you help other people, the more you do it, the more you explain it, the more you're going to learn it yourself. I mean, that's probably why I'm so good at this, is I've internalized it because I've done it for so many people. So.
And then when I get stuck, I just text you.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like a Chinese nesting doll. Every time you open one of these things up, you've got a bunch of different tabs. Like here, we've got the pages. We've got pages and split tests. I've never even used split tests, but then you've got analytics. It'll show you your conversion and your engagement on all the pages that you create, which is really cool. You know, if you go to communication, you notice you've got 3 tabs at the top, and each one of them, this opens 3 more tabs, that one opens 3 more tabs, and that one opens 4 tabs. So there's a lot of little pieces to the puzzle. I don't use all of them. I use actually very few of them. I use enough to get the job done. And you've got products. If you want to sell products, you can set your products up in here. You can create your affiliate program. You can, you can do coupons. You can do sales tax, self-billing, all the stuff. Memberships. If you ever want to create a membership site, the ACT program is done through a Kartra membership site. So you can create those. It will host your videos for you. This is a really cool thing. If you host videos inside of Kartra, it gives you the analytics for it. It also allows you to create tags based on the analytics.
John, can you mute Richards or somebody's? We're getting feedback, or at least I am. I don't know who's.
And my mic's off.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So anyway, a really cool thing you can do with the videos is you can create tags. You can say, like, give me a tag for anybody that watched this video less than 20 minutes. Because if your call to action is at 21 minutes and they didn't get there, that's a really important thing for you to know. So you can place a tag on anyone that started watching the video and didn't get to 21 minutes or whatever that may be. And based on that tag, now I can fire a sequence. I can send them an email and say, hey, I noticed you started watching the video and you didn't get to the offer. Here's the link to the video to pick up where you left off. How cool is that? There's a lot of stuff you can do with this. You can get as fancy or as simple as you want with this program. You can set up calendars. Surveys is new. This is something a lot of people ask for, but it wasn't in there. So now it's in there. I haven't used it yet, but I'm looking forward to it because I think it's a really cool deal. Help desks, you can set up a help desk. Campaigns is kind of an advanced feature. It's really cool though. What you can do with campaigns is you can create a campaign that is all of the assets, like what we just made. We made a form, we made a page, we made a sequence, and we made a tag and a list. So we could take all of those pieces, we could drop them into a campaign and name it. We could name it movement. And then what you could do, you can bundle the entire sequence and you can clone it. Or you can pass it to another Kartra user. Like, let's say you had a friend that wanted to get Kartra and they want to do the same thing you're doing with it. You could say, hey, I can bundle up a campaign for you. And if you buy Kartra using my affiliate link, I'll transport the campaign right into your account. You don't even have to set it up. It'll all be there for you. You just have to go in and edit your stuff. So that's a really cool deal. I know a guy that made a ton of money doing this with ClickFunnels. Brian Delaney, a friend of mine, he made over $1 million in sales commissions selling ClickFunnels, which I can tell you, and with no uncertainty, is an absolute piece of crap compared to this. He made over $1 million in sales commissions by setting up some templates that people love, like a webinar template. He set up like 5 templates, and then he did a massive ad campaign that, hey, if you get your ClickFunnels through me, I'll import these 5 templates right into your ClickFunnels account. So you could do that with Kartra. You can set those up and you could give away free templates as a lead magnet to get someone to purchase this on their affiliate program. So really, really cool stuff. Integrations. This is where you set up, like if you're going to have a payment gateway, if you're going to set up, authorize.net for your email merchant or for your merchant account. Or if you're going to use Google Calendar, you can integrate. If you're going to use PayPal, you can integrate. Stripe, Twilio, SendGrid, Zapier, any of that stuff. If you're using that for third-party things, it'll integrate right in here seamlessly. So here's another thing. In the mail program, we didn't set up your email. Let me see if I still have the paste in here. Yep. So now it will automatically default to this. Oh, that's just a test email. So, okay. So now anytime you go to set up a mail message, it will automatically put that in there for you. So you won't have to do it manually. So questions? Anybody got questions about Kartra? I know we covered a lot of stuff, but we were able to skin the cat in one shot without too many disruptions or little quirks. We had the WordPress quirk that I had to fix, and I actually found that one on Linda's site. I think, weren't we trying to update that on your site and we couldn't do it for some reason? I figured it out.
Hey, John, on the adding your domain, your custom domain, I went in on there and was trying to do it on mine, and it gave me some pop-up screen about doing it. Something was, hold on, let's see if I can find out what it was again.
Yes, what it does, it tells you that you have to set up a DNS record for a CNAME.
Yeah.
And it actually gives you the CNAME record for your DNS. So if you go to your webmaster or whoever's controlling your DNS for your website, tell them you need a CNAME record for this subdomain to point to this URL. And it will give you what the URL is to point to.
Okay, yeah, because I have the timgillette.com, but I was going to put that like go timgillette.com is the thing, and it gave me that. So, and that would make a separate domain name, right?
Correct. So what you tell your webmaster is, I want go.timgillette.com to forward through a CNAME record to this, and Kartra is going to give you what that is. And it's usually your username.kartra.com is typically what it is.
Okay, I see. Yeah, because custom domain, and number one, read the documentation. 2, point the CNAME record to Kartra.
Yeah. So there, you don't need to read the documentation anymore.
I figured it was something simple that I had to do, and that's why I'd ask you.
Yeah. So if you go to your web host, just tell your web host, hey, set up a CNAME pointing go dot to this Kartra address.
Is that host as in my HostGator where I'm hosting the site, or GoDaddy where I bought it?
It's wherever your DNS records are held. So wherever you point the name servers, that's where the DNS records are going to be.
The DNS servers are pointing to HostGator. I don't know.
Then that's where your records are going to be updated.
Okay, so I have to go find that in HostGator now.
Yep.
It sounds like what we were trying to ask you about earlier, John. For the landing page I have created.
Oh, Linda, you were kind of muffled there.
I think that's probably the same request that would
fulfill the same request that we sent you earlier for my new landing page.
Oh, no, that was actually a different thing. Your guy was trying to get into the cPanel to upload files, and your site's not on cPanel. It's on our optimized WordPress servers.
Got it.
So I told him how to get in, like what I just did with Sabine's site, where I went to the file manager. That's how he would do it. You can upload any file to the server through the file manager right inside the WordPress admin.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, so I'm in my cPanel for HostGator. Where is it in there that I go now?
You're going to go to manage your DNS records.
Where in there? Yeah. I'm lost, and this is like how much I don't know about this.
Oh, if you're in the cPanel, you're in the wrong spot.
Okay, where do I have to be for that?
So you need to go in where it says manage your domain names.
Manage my domain names. Hold on, I know that's here. So at domains.
or here, you want to share your screen and I'll might be able to point you in the right direction.
Screen 3. Yeah, right there. This is where I my domain names.
Okay, so go to manage. Let's see if we can manage it.
Manage. Which one of these manages or no?
The one for the domain.
The domain name here.
The one for the Tim Gillette. Yeah, let's manage that.
It's the main domain, yeah.
Okay, modify the zones. Okay, so here you're going to add record.
Okay.
And you want a CNAME under the type.
CNAME under the type.
Yeah, third box. Yeah, you want CNAME. And then the Kartra record goes in there.
Here?
Yep.
That would be this one.
Yes. timgillette.kartra.com.
Okay.
And then under your valid zone name, you want go. So go.timgillette.com dot.
Dot?
Yes, dot on the end.
That's it?
No, .com and then dot on the end.
Okay. Like that.
Correct. And then add record and you're good to go.
Okay. So now I go over into Kartra and I just that should work now.
Yep. And then you got to put in here the index page where you want that to point to. And if you don't have one, just point it to timgillette.com. And then if you have a 404 error page, a standard one, you can point to that URL or you can just point to the timgillette.com there as well.
And for now, I'll fix this later.
Yeah, you can always come back and update it.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it.
Okay. Cool. Where's my stop share? There we go. All right. That was good.
Piece of cake, right?
That was piece of cake. That was easy. I'm glad I never thought about that until you showed it tonight.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing to do. And then whenever you publish a page or anything, when it gives you the URL, you can edit that. You can select your custom domain, and then you can name the page.
Well, that's it. Because now that's what I want to do. I want to start naming them because I was setting up a set of ads to run on a new campaign I'm doing. And I know Facebook has this new rule that you've got to put the domain it's going to. Like you can't put a Kartra domain.
Yeah.
Your website is timgillette.com.
Yep. Correct. So that's your workaround for that.
So now I get that workaround in. Yeah, I'll be able to fix that. Thanks.
Yeah. So one more thing I want to show you guys. I've totally forgot this, and this is important. And it's under pages. And when you're editing a page, there's a section in here that I've didn't really pay attention to, and I just want to show you how it works. Okay, so over here on the side, you've got settings, and there's a thing called SEO parameters. And if you pull this up, you can actually change the title of the page. You can put the description of the page. You can put keywords in here separated by commas. You can put the author. I either use my name or my company name as the author. And then whatever you put in here, go down to where it says page OG title. What OG stands for is Open Graph. And what Open Graph is it is what all social media platforms use. Every social media platform out there uses OG, Open Graph. And if you don't have that OG title in there, they're going to ignore it. So if you go to paste your website in, it's not going to show up. Your description won't show up. And the really cool thing is you can have an Open Graph image. So if you put an Open Graph image in there, it will automatically now show up when you go and paste that URL into Facebook. It will show the image. It'll show your title and your description, and it just looks really professional. Instead of just putting a link and, who's going to click that, right? But when the image pops up and it's got a cool title and a description and the image, and it's it's got high visual impact and it looks professional, you will get more conversion if you use these OG.
So show us, can you show an example? Type in an example and show us.
Sure. Let's see. Or actually, I can go to, let me get out of here. I didn't make any changes, so I can just exit out. And I'll get out of Sabine's account. And we'll go over.
Wait, don't you have agency with her?
You know, I do, but I never really set that up.
Yeah. I have like a couple of my clients, I got the agency, so I can just click down the bottom of the agency and go right into their account as myself.
Yeah. I keep forgetting to do that. So let me go into my pages here. And I just set this one up for the AI book. So we'll edit that and I'll show you what this is all about. Okay, so settings, SEO parameters. So I've got AI marketing automation, use AI to create converting copy, audio and video content. And then I've also got them in here, and under the image, I actually used a picture of the book.
Okay.
So this one is all fully configured. So if I go out here and I go to publish this, it's going to give me the address. So I could take that address right there. I can copy it and I can go over to, let's say, Facebook. Okay, so what is on my mind? I want to paste that URL in. And it's working on it. It's going out. It's looking up the OG tags. And hopefully it will find me. There it is. Look at that.
Wow.
So
that is a wow.
How cool is that? That's
very cool.
That's open graph. So you think that's going to get clicked on versus, hey, click on my book?
Yes. That's worth tonight's call right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this does this with any social media platform you're on. Open graph is, rules the world in social media. Wow. So it shows where it's from. It shows you the title bolded, and then the description I put in there and the OG tag, and there's my image.
I just got to get some cool book cover designs now in there.
Yeah. Fiverr. That's all I can say about that is Fiverr.
Yeah, totally.
So anyway, I mean, Kartra is phenomenal. It's just, I don't know what else to say.
Well, I mean, John, I remember I tried it. I tried it like the first time you mentioned it. I think where we were standing at the Westin with Craig, and you mentioned it, and I went and checked it out, and I just couldn't get it. I couldn't understand it, so I gave up onto it. And then last year, when they gave me the option to come back if I bought 6 months, they would give me 3 of them free. So I'm like, okay. And it was like $297 to join for 6 months. I'm like, I'll do that because I can learn it in 6 months or not.
Yeah.
And that's when you had the course up for us in the portal. And I just went through that course and learned so much more. And then I came out of it and I'm like, why the heck didn't I do this sooner? Oh my God, this thing like runs circles around what I was doing.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, Kartra has phenomenal training videos, but they're specific to each little piece of Kartra. They don't really have what I put together as the overview. It's like, here's how to use it in your business. Here's how to connect the pieces and actually give you what you want. Was, you want to create opt-ins, you want to sell products, you want to do webinar sequences. Here's how to do that. That's what I did.
And this is what I work with my clients on all the time. Is like, tell me how you want your business set up and let's go find the tools to make it work. Yeah. Well, that's because I think that way. Like I designed how I wanted things to work. You finally showed me with the overview how to plug it in and make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff, huh?
Awesome. So,
well, hopefully that was worth the time. I know we spent a while here on this one, and it was a different time. So I appreciate you guys were able to accommodate me on the time change there.
You definitely dropped the mic on that one.
So cool
Hey,
stuff.
can I ask a question for Woody on Woody's
Sure.
behalf?
Sure.
Okay, great. He had some. Now, if I can find him. La, la. Good thing I took a picture. Okay, he wanted to know about the marketplace. Like he means an affiliate section. Does anyone know some great affiliates besides the ones we have that we're working with on this call and Craig's call, especially for anything that would be disabled adjacent, like wheelchairs or anything like that?
Gotcha.
And,
Okay.
And then he wants to know the second question. I'll just ask all three quickly. The second question is, how does it work? How do we people collect? So he says, and how does one keep track of the sales? I told him this would be answered pretty much through Kartra. And once we knew who our affiliates were, we could basically run one of these programs. I just want to make sure that's correct. And the third question was, how do you enroll vendors? And like it says like a group letter to vendors we like ?
Okay. So I think most of what you're asking there is in regards to the affiliate program. Kartra has the affiliate program built right in. So you could send an email out to, all kinds of people, basically recruiting them to be an affiliate for you. And then you set up your affiliate products, you set up the commission rates, and Kartra tracks all of that stuff for you. So that's how you keep track of it. At the end of the month, it will give you basically a report of who gets paid what. It will track as you pay them. It keeps track of their W-2s, all of that stuff. So it's really a cool affiliate program. Now, how you find other affiliates, you would probably have to do some research on that. Like if you were looking for products to affiliate with so you could sell them and get affiliate commissions, I would go to Google and just type in, different search strings like handicap affiliate offers, handicap affiliate programs, and see what else was available that you could sign up for. And then he could create a whole list of different vendors that he could promote.
So you would go find, Google best wheelchairs and then go directly to that person, or would you look up already set up affiliate programs?
No, if it depends, if you're trying to
contracts with.
Yeah, if you're trying to recruit them, then that's one thing. If you're trying to find products for you to sell to your group, then that's another. If you're trying to find, people that you can sell their stuff and make an affiliate commission, you could type in accessible products and then affiliate or become an affiliate. And a lot of times they will come up, any website that has become an affiliate and is related to handicap, you might get thousands of them. And then you just go sign up for their programs, get their links. You could create a resources link page on the website for them. And any of them that are, particularly relevant to any campaign you're doing, you could feature them and promote them specially.
Okay. And you wouldn't recommend getting a separate contract written out for anything that already has an affiliate section, even if let's say it's we get 5% or 10%, but Woody wants to go higher than that? Would you recommend we ask them, or would you just go with standard?
You can do that, but your answer is probably going to be based on your performance. If you go in through the door making terrorist demands, they're probably going to laugh you out of the building. If you go in and you do a promotion with them and you sell more than anyone else has sold, now is a good time to go, hey, I'd love to do another promo for you, but I really need a little bit bigger bump on the front end or whatever. then they're going to say, oh, okay, well, we can do that. Big difference. And, after performing than just going in cold.
After.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like
great info.
Yeah, it's just like making a sale. If you just go in for the kill and you haven't created the benefits and the demand and the desire and overcome the objections and all that, then, the answer is probably going to be no. It's the same thing, whether you're selling something or getting somebody to opt in or, it's all human contact and it's based on a relationship.
Yes.
If you ask too much in the beginning of any relationship, the answers are usually no. So
okay,
I would just kind of approach it that
on
way.
par with your teaching.
Yeah, it's just the way the world works. So
Wonderful. Yeah, and actually my only other question is we're looking at trademarking, and I know that there's somebody on Craig's Zoom calls that does trademarking, but I think Woody wanted, three different people. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask, is it efficient to ask 3 different people who could do this, the same set of 10 questions, or should we go with our first, then our second, then our third, seeing if moving on to the next one if the first person isn't?
I mean, I can tell you based on my own experience, I've done a couple of trademarks myself in the past, and I didn't go to anybody. I just filled out the paperwork and sent it in, and it was a whole lot cheaper. And it's not that complicated a process. So if you're going to somebody that's going to charge you a boatload of money to do that, they're going to make a boatload of money doing it. It's basically it's a form that you fill out and you send it to the Library of Congress, I believe, and the instructions are all right on the form. It's not a real complex process. It's almost like getting a DBA. You have to post it in a public magazine. It has to have a certain period of time to run. If nobody contests it, then they put their stamp of approval on it and send you your documents.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like setting up an LLC, John. You can pay somebody $300 to set it up, or you can go to the state website, fill out the form, and spend $50 and you're done.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're trying to do it on a bootstrap,
a personal question that I had.
Oh, Monique, you're cutting out. We didn't hear any of that other than a personal question.
Is this for?
We didn't catch any of that. You were cut out.
Oh, I said that answered a personal question because I just got my DBA back for my own business.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right.
Well, thank you so much, John. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
I have one last question. You said that you changed your website and my screen doesn't show your changes. So do I need to somehow flush the cache to get it to pop up?
You should be able to just refresh it.
I've done that. Can I show it to you what I'm getting?
Sure.
This is what I get when I go to your site. And that's not, it shows some of the new things on there, but not everything.
Okay, you're in the Chrome browser.
Yes.
So that is what it looks like in the Chrome browser. I have a conflict with one of my plugin modules. It's not showing my top piece, my slider.
Right. It's not showing the top at all.
Yeah. So if you go to, I use Firefox. Yeah. If you go to Firefox, you'll see it come up the real way.
That answers the question. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a little glitch in the Chrome browser.
And in Opera.
In Opera, yeah. Yeah. So that's one that I throw at my web developers and say, hey, fix it. I'll only dig so deep in the weeds on the code stuff, and then I'm done. I'm out.
I'm not seeing a difference in Firefox either. I have that open as well. I just did it.
Really?
Let's see.
So showing
Oh,
up on
nope,
Firefox.
I lied. Hold on.
I was going to say Firefox, it should be good to go.
Yep, I have Chrome and Opera open and Firefox is loading, but of course it always does that dang update.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It looks beautiful in Firefox.
All right. So I'm at the home page where it says membership accounts, and then you have the login and the JV and all that stuff. Am I at the right page, John, or is there another?
Well, let me show you what it should be, and then you can determine if you're in the right spot or not.
Okay. No, I don't got that.
I don't have
got the
that.
girl.
I don't have it on Firefox either.
Yeah,
All right.
Firefox, it's basically missing this piece right here.
Yep.
Concur.
It's just the
But
orange.
I have Opera, Chrome, and Firefox open, and all three of them are missing that piece.
Okay, Firefox too?
Yep, got it open.
Huh. That might be a cache or a refresh or something.
I think it's cached on yours.
Oh, it could be. That is quite possible.
No, there it is. No, missing that part.
Oh.
But John, didn't you remove this earlier because of the speed when you did a speed test? And you were a couple of meetings ago that you found this service where it would show you how fast your stuff load up, and it gave you a grade in comparison to the rest of the internet. And having
Yeah.
this original, okay.
I did remove some stuff. Like I actually changed out. I got a different ADA compliancy service. So I changed that out. I noticed if I changed the code the way I loaded the Kartra help button, like this is my Kartra help button. And remember I said you can have help desks with Kartra. So this is mine. If you click it, it opens my support system. This is all managed through Kartra.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
that's
I
just
got
a
the little
widget.
guy in the lower right. Yep.
Yeah.
I got him in the lower right. And then I got the icon, grab the icons.
The thing that is not compatible right now with the other browsers is this is a slider. So what I might have to do is just turn it into an image. I'll just go in and Photoshop it, make it an image, and take the whole slider rigmarole out of the picture.
Okay. Oh, you mentioned Photoshop. Photoshop is Adobe, correct?
Yes.
And Adobe, just today's the last day. They have a thing called Adobe Max 2021, and it's a 3-day live event showing off all their features. I mean,
yeah,
like right.
I can tell you guys one thing about the Adobe products and Photoshop in particular. It's not an easy, intuitive program to use and learn.
Hold on a moment. Sorry.
The only,
say that one more time for me, John.
With the Adobe, particularly Photoshop, it's not an easy program to use and to learn. It is. If you think Kartra's got a lot of layers to it, wait till you dig into that thing. And the only reason that I'm proficient at it is I've been using it for 25 years at a baby steps level. And I've gotten over that amount of time that I can do just about anything I need to do with it, because I've like worked through every one of those little learning curves just specifically for what I need it for. I use it about 1/1000th of what it will do. And whenever I try and get beyond what I know, it's very frustrating.
It is.
So if you're looking for a photo editor, because I use it, I wouldn't recommend it. And just because of how long it took me to get where I'm at, it's not a beginner type program. And if I were to start over,
what's the photo? What program don't you recommend?
Photoshop, if you are not familiar with it.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Adobe Creative Cloud is frustrating to use. Yeah.
There's a lot of easier photo editing programs. And if I were to start over today, I would probably be using one of them. I hate to relearn stuff. So I know what I know about Photoshop and I can do what I need to do with it. So I'm just happy there.
I don't know, John. Didn't you say something about being lazy? I can't understand. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not like going to go spend time learning another one. That's definitely.
John, which ADA widget are you using and why?
I am using, well, I started off using ADA leads, and then I went to ADA comply, and both of those had some serious load speeds, but specifically, I don't remember which one or the other. Whenever you did text, like if you started to fill out a form, it would throw everything wacky. And we found that on Gregory's site. We went to fill out a form on his site and the whole site turned black because I put a B in, and I'm like, what the hell? The hell just happened? And it was a conflict with the widget. And I'm like, well, that ain't going to work. So we threw that one out the window. And I believe this one is ADA Bundle is the one that I'm using currently. So I've got ADA leads and ADA comply. And basically I went through all three of them and wound up using the one that was compatible and loads fast and not a pain in my butt.
Did you look at Accessibility?
Never heard of that one. There's a ton of them out there though. If it does the job, then let her rip. That's
If it's not broke, don't break it.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, John.
But yeah, some cool stuff. Oh, let's see. What else did I put in here? Yeah, that was about it. Got everything dialed in, and all the buttons work.
Yeah, what I was kind of cool. You go to training, it's beautiful. Go down to the word marketing knowledge base. That is so cool, John.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
I've got them all broken up into the categories. Like if you want knowledge on traffic, there's the traffic. If you want marketing skills training, you want crowd targeting, you want conversion.
And this is, and people have access to this before they even have to sign in. This is open to the public.
This is all open for free. Conversion optimizer. So here's my 50. And I was so lazy, I didn't even create its own landing page. I just used this blog post and I just dropped it in there and put a Kartra button on it. And that thing, as ugly as that page is, the thing is converting like crazy. I mean, this is just a pre-formatted blog post page. I didn't even remove the blog. I just stuck my offer on top of the existing blog.
Yeah, but the button's right there. Get a free copy now. Don't bother reading the lower paragraphs unless you want to.
Yeah. And it's, and then did I tell you guys I was too lazy to even write the book? Did I tell you about that? So when you click on this thing, I put it up. I'm like, God damn, I'm not writing a freaking book. Hell with that. So on the thank you page, I put the book, and all it is a table of contents, and it's just watch the video. So it's a table of contents of the 50 things. And I just went through it with a video and just talked about each one, how to use them. There's my book.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
That's a video book. That's it. It's just a video book. Works. I don't read anymore. I'm listening to Audible.
Yeah.
And I got more out of Audible than reading trade books that I've read for the last few years. Now Audible. I'm remembering stuff easier.
So that's a little glimpse into how lazy I am. I mean, I literally, if you download the book, all it is, it's a PDF. Let's see. So I just downloaded it. So it's got a picture of the cover. It's got a couple of paragraphs saying how I'm too lazy to write a book. Here's the things.
Watch the video.
There's call to action. That's the end of it. And then watch the video where I talk about each one of these, tell you what it is, how it works, how to use it, and on to the next one. And I don't know how long the video is, but it wasn't real long. Let's see. It's
Must have been
55 minutes.
an hour.
56 minutes.
Yeah.
And I literally just turned on Zoom and started recording. That was it.
But it's also more effective because now if someone downloads a PDF, prints out the PDF of the 50, then they listen to you. I have a habit of when you're speaking or other people, when people are speaking, and I have a printout, like an outline, like Craig has when he puts out, I start writing in my own thoughts as he's thinking, that's triggering ideas. So I catch the ideas with the topic on the paper. So I don't lose it.
Yeah. And then I can go over here and I can go into my tags and I can see I've got 333 or 330 people have downloaded that.
And that's 10 times more than the ones above it.
So I've got 330 people that are now new prospects in my list just from doing that, like what, a month ago?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's pretty cool. So now it's a matter of how many of those can I turn into residual income for the rest of my life. You know, if I got 10% of those people and showed them how cool Kartra was, that would be 33 people times 40 a month. That's $1,320 a month times 12. I just gave myself a $15,800 raise this year.
Fuel for the boat.
Yeah.
Anytime you talk numbers, John, I'm always thinking about how much to fill that gas tank.
Yeah. And that's if I don't do anything else with them. That's if I just show them how to use Kartra and get them signed up and send them on their way. That's if they got no more value out of me.
Then they come back here in a monthly, and then they get into one of your apprentice slots when they become available.
Yeah, that's lifetime value. So, you know, that's 1 year. So if we say that, you know, the average person is going to run their business for 10 years, so that's $158,000 for the amount of work that I just did, which was pretty minimal. So that's leverage. That's automation. That's like use a little bit of your time for a maximum payoff. And I just have learned to live and sleep and breathe that kind of scenario. So that's the kind of opportunities I'm looking for. Not looking for a job, looking for an adventure. So, all right, guys. Well, it's been over 2 hours, and I know you guys got to be cooked by now. So
no, we're good.
Let's call it quits for this week, and we'll be back on next week. So let me know if you need me. I'm here.
Hey, John. Thank you much.
Happy Halloween. Don't let the evil spirits get you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.